Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with another knife video for you. Today I want to show you a knife that I picked up this week that I've been planning to look at, but this week I walked into TSC and it was on sale for half price. So it was 30 bucks on sale for 15. And that's half price for TSC, right? I don't know that everywhere carries it for 30. It might be 25 somewhere and whatever. But 15 bucks, I thought that's a good price to pay for this knife. This is the Stroud S K Desert Folding Knife. It's made by Camillus, and it's part of this whole SK line. There's a whole bunch of SK Jungle and SK Desert and SK Arctic and a bunch of others. Not a bunch. I think there's 4 of them. Anyway, this is the smallest one. It's the only one that's a folding knife. The others are fixed blade, and I'm kind of interested to try one of the fixed blades, the next size up from this. So you may get a video on that one of these days. This knife, I've carried it around. I've used it a lot, and I'll tell you why I used it a lot in a couple minutes. But I've been pretty impressed with it. Overall, you know, for $15, this is a fantastic knife. And if you're looking for a knife, you know, to put in your tackle box, or, I mean, you could EDC this knife, but it's not ideal, I don't think. Certainly it's capable, just not perfect. This is a pretty good knife for 15 bucks. So let's see, what do you want to know about it? It's 7 3/4 inches overall. The blade is 3 1/4 inches, and the weight is 4.2 ounces. So it's not too heavy. It's definitely on the smaller side of medium, and I've said this before, I do prefer larger knives. So I've got this and I don't mind it. But if I was going to carry it every single day, I'd want it to be at least 1 inch bigger in terms of blade size and handle size, kind of combined. 3.5 inch blade and closer to a 4.5 inch handle. Anyway, that's the specs on, or that's the size and weight of this knife. Let's get into some of the more specific stuff. I'll just start at the blade and kind of work my way down. So this blade is 440C. It's a clip point blade. And it's a hollow grind, so fairly shallow hollow grind. You can when you feel it, you can just feel it. Like some of the hollow grind knives I have, you can really feel that scoop shape there. This one, not so much. It is manually deployed, and it's got this little notch on the back of the blade. We'll mention that when we get to the handle, what that's for. It does have this carbonitride titanium coating on it, and that's something Camillus really markets and talks about as being just, you know, really, really awesome. Is it as good as they say? Probably not, but it's certainly a good coating. And as I say, I'll give you a good look, and you can see there's no scrapes. There's a little bit of wear right there, and that's after a lot of use. I mean, I really wore this knife out because I wanted to test something that I'll talk about when I get to the handle. Let's see, anything else about the blade that we need to know? I guess not. The handle is certainly different than what we're normally used to seeing because it's rubberized. It's not G10, it's not FRN, it's not any of the things we normally talk about when we talk about folding knife handles. It's rubber. Now, that's good and bad, and I will say it is comfortable. As I say, I really put this knife through its paces, and it did well. So it is comfortable. However, there's a little bit of flex to it, and you can see, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it there, but certainly I can feel it as I'm moving the knife here. There's a teeny bit of flex, and that's because of all the rubber, and that concerned me a bit. So when I felt that, as I was checking for blade play, and it's sort of like, is it blade play? It doesn't feel like blade play. What's moving? It feels like something's moving. It's some flex that's in the handle. That concerned me, so I took this knife and really put it through its paces to see if that was going to be an issue. I cut everything from a 2x4 right down to a 1x1. I cut a bunch of pine. I even cut a piece of oak that I had left over from a flooring project, and this thing even cut into that hardwood fairly capably, and I really had to bear down, and it did just fine in that application. After all my really hard use, I even batoned with it, no blade play of any kind in any direction other than that little bit of flex that I said was there from before. So the knife does hold up quite well to bushcraft type of tasks, and that's what it was designed for. So I can't deduct any marks for that little bit of flex because it doesn't seem to make a difference in terms of the toughness of the knife. The handle is a little thicker than what we're used to, and that's why I say it's not probably best for an everyday carry pocket type knife. It's just a little big, plus the rubber kind of sticks in your pocket, and so because of those things, although I did carry it, and it's certainly possible if you really liked it, or if you're in the bush all the time and feel like you want a bushcraft type of knife, this isn't a bad choice. It does have this one other thing going on here. The pocket clip, by the way, is single position, right side tip up carry. There's this bright green piece here at the back of the handle, and what that is a fire steel. If I can get a hold of it and get it out for you. There we go. There's a fire steel tucked into the back of this knife, and I've tried it out a few times and it does function. I'll see if I can get it to work on camera. There we go. There's some sparking there. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but there are some sparks coming off of it, and it certainly would be functional, and no question you could start a fire with it. So it does have that added feature, and because of that, I plan to use this knife to go in my survival kit. It could also be, in a backpack or in the cargo pocket of your cargo pants, whatever. Probably best, I feel, in that application. That's why I have it. I don't plan to carry it every day. I think that's everything. I'm just looking over the knife to see if there's anything I've forgotten to tell you. And there is, the blade is 440C. And 440C is kind of a cheaper blade steel for sure, but depending on how it's heat treated, it can hold up really well. And this has held up. I have not sharpened it, and as I said, I really put it through its paces. I've cut everything you can think of, and this blade is still very sharp. So the 440C that Camillus is using in this knife, and presumably in all of the less Stroud series, they're all 440C, must be reasonably well heat treated because it holds an edge pretty nicely. It's very sharp still, and this is after a lot of pretty hard use. So overall take on the Camillus SK Desert folding knife, it's good. It's good for its purpose. Now if you want a everyday carry knife to put in your pocket, it's probably not perfect. If you want a knife though to go in your survival kit, to go in your backpack, to go in your fishing stuff or in the boat or whatever where you might feel like you need a survival knife, this is a great option, especially this week because it's on sale. And I'm sure actually, once you see something go on sale somewhere for 15 bucks, you know that it's going to be around at that price if you just shop enough for it, or maybe wait a few weeks until it goes on sale somewhere else. So good knife, very tough little knife, much more capable than I maybe would have given it credit for when I first got it, but I've been very impressed with this little blade. Lots of fun, certainly glad to have it in my collection, and I don't think you'll be disappointed to have it in yours. That's my take on the Camillus SK Desert folding knife.